Alright, hello everyone, busygamerdad back again for our third and final session gameplay episode where we'll go over our thoughts for Die for the Lich, a fun little demo that is freely available on Steam. If you want to try it out for yourselves, I will have a link for you in the YouTube descriptions. While you're down there, if you want to hit that subscribe button, help grow the channel, and you want to hit that like to promote the video and let people know that this game is out there and they can add it to their Busy Gamer libraries and Busy Gamer life if they choose to. Like I said, this is a demo. This is not a full product release. If you want to wishlist the game, that would be very helpful for the developers. So, in our third and final episode, I'd like to go over our thoughts for the game, how I feel about the game, if I feel like it's a good addition to the Busy Gamer library, how long it takes to play a game session for the game, so you can see what it's what you're sitting down for and what you're signing up for. At the end of last episode, we went through and we unlocked a couple of things, a couple of goodies that I wanted to show you here. A couple of D20s, a couple of D12s, as it were, and we had some fun, and we beat the game. Technically, we beat the demo. I'm not going to say we beat the game, we beat the demo. These trinkets are freely unlocked just by playing the game. There's not really crazy amounts of things that you have to do. This one here is a bit hard. I'm not going to say it's not. Like, you got to sit down and you got to grind for this one. But the other ones are, you're just playing the game. You're just playing the game, and you're just enjoying the game and understanding how it works and the connections that you can find to certain dice and certain synergies and things like that. This game functions on a dice mechanic as well as a weapon mechanic. So inside here, I didn't want to close this out. So inside here, the weapons that you unlock have certain criticals. When you roll your dice and hit that critical, it procs the weapon and it gives it bonus effects. It is crucial to your success that you navigate getting dice to proc the weapons that you have available, and that you get weapons that work with the dice that you have in your tray. If you can't do that, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna fail, and that's okay. Sometimes the odds are not in your favor, and that's just how it goes. There are certain boons and abilities that you can get as well as you play the game, certain risk-reward mechanics, Blood Moon, Halo, where, you lose life, you get that token that helps out things. There's a couple of trinkets that you can get through the game that really help your play styles, as it were, if you're a more aggro player or a more risk-averse player, more defensive player. But beyond that, we unlocked Dante. Dante is as far as I can tell, an undead priest. He starts off with the cross dagger and the old Bible. His dice set is very different from the Undertaker's, where they have 3d4, 1d4 that is bone dice, and just d6s, a bone dice. So he's very odd, and he has this grave reroll as his ability. So if you go into the collectibles, we can show you what that is right here. So abilities, we go to grave reroll right here. If there is a bone in your tray, destroy it and to reroll a dice. So it's kind of actually super powerful in that regard. But if you have dice that or bonuses that you're getting for procking and getting more bones in your tray, that could be a really helpful thing. But if you're just not seeing that happen, you don't want to chase those one or two things unless unless you really are in a good place to do so. So like I said before, we have weapons. We have 3 that we can pick from. We can get all weapons if we wanted to. We can get all shields. I wouldn't recommend it. And you can get, how I basically succeeded with the game is I had 2 weapons and a shield. So I had some way to defend myself as well as doing some good damage downrange. Sometimes, maybe these characters that are in the future state of the game, you want 2 weapons, or maybe 3 weapons because they function with 3 weapons better. It looks as though I would like to get a different weapon, because this is just a 5 and create, well, no, it creates a bone dice that we can re-roll. So maybe we should just get a shield. Steady armor, keeps during the turn, and it's only 3. And Dante has a bunch of low dice. The bone dice are creating more bones for him to re-roll. So yeah, I guess what I want to do is, he seems to not have the ability to generate a lot of high value numbers. So let's see what we can get from the fight. So we got to fight our doggo here. Typical first combat. He's only doing 2 damage. We have the ability to do 2 different shields. So we pick what we want to try and roll for, to get damage for or get defense for. In this case, I chose the dagger, and now we're going to go into this, and we're going to try and roll this. I know so it's got a 1. I mean, that's hooray. Shoot. There's our 2. 4. And we're 1 up, but we use the bone to bring it down, so we cause it to proc. So that's the game's core mechanic. You have to be using the dice that you have and the trinkets that proc in here to get the weapons to trigger. So now I can do 5 damage to him, and I didn't really have the ability to create a single bone dice. Okay, fair enough. If I critted, I would... It's defensive? Alright, I guess let's see what we can get from it. Let's see what we can get from it. So we get 5 armor without having it proc. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't hurt us, too, to get a little extra armor and maybe proc that to have the armor carry over to the next round. So not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right, let's see what kind of damage we can get downrange. Let's get the 8. So 3 damage. Let's roll the d4. Oh, shoot. Oh, no, we got the bone. And that's not going to help us, though. That's not going to help us. I shouldn't use the bone. Shoot. Yep, so then I got to activate it, and then I can... Then that's spent, unfortunately. Let's see. I can try again with that. Do I want to, or do I want to defend? I think I want to defend. Yeah, I think I want to defend. Let's see if I can get a good defense going. That's a 5 defense. Perfect. Great. Awesome. All right, now I'm just going to try again. Swing at him for 2. 5. Perfect. That procced. And we get to do some damage. And then that's all the dice we have, so we can't use our shield this time, but we had enough armor to soak the hits. Yep, armor's lost. Reroll. Here we go. Let's roll the d6, so even if we get the 6, let's roll the d... No, we win. We win. We had the 3 damage. We might as well take the win. Don't try and... You need to pay attention. I didn't pay attention last episode, and I paid the price for it. Thankfully, it wasn't terrible. But you need to pay attention to if you can win and get the kill, how your dice are functioning, because if you miss opportunities, the game does punish you. Not overly so in a bad way, but still in a way that's like, oh, I missed that opportunity and I'm going to get hit. Or I didn't get the kill and now this is going to go on longer. So, final thoughts on this game. It's a lot of fun. If the price point for this game is around, say, $15 or less, that's really great for a lot of people out there. The things that I worry about for this game is the longevity of going into it and saying, all right, I have 40 minutes, I can play a game. Because it took us about 40 minutes to get from start to finish. If there's different acts, I don't know how that works and how much time you're going to have to sit down, or if the ability to, kind of exit and come back is going to be functionally programmed into the game. Let's see here. I want to do, this is a really hard choice. Can be reused. Let's get this. So price point aside, if this game is under $15, I think this is a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of replay value in this game. I think that the mechanics in the game will keep the player engaged for a while, and the longevity of this game. I see if you're a very active gamer. I know, busy gamer being active. There's an oxymoron. But I see if you have the ability to play this game, sit down and play for 40 minutes or something like that, and you can get through the first stage, and if there's a save and quit and come back, that'd be great. But if there's not something like that inside the confines of the game, then it might not be as advantageous for someone with a busy schedule to sit down and play. That's my 2 cents on it in that regard. But I still think that there is a chance that the busy gamer can sit down and enjoy a game for a half hour, for 20 minutes, save and come back, and rinse, repeat. So all in all, I think this is a fun game and would be a welcome addition to a busy gamer's library. If the price point matches where I'm talking about, where it's like under $15, I don't know the development cost for the game. I don't know how hard it was to create the game. I'm just spitting a number out with what I would like to see the game value priced at. Future content is definitely a big draw for this game. I could see that there are people out there who would love to see DLCs and games for expansions for this game if there's a large community that follows it, because of the uniqueness of the dice and the weapons working together and figuring each other out in a way. Let's get the coins, because if I can get the things to proc, that'd be really, really helpful. Let's take the fight. Let's take the fight. Only 10 life. Really? Only 10 life, he says. Alright, let's see what we get. A 2. 7. Pop that guy for 1. Bam. Hit him there. Let's get some defense. 3 defense. Perfect. Great. We don't even need to proc that. We're going to block that damage. And then we're going to swing in 2. 3. Perfect. Easy kill. So, as I'm playing and as I'm talking, you'll see that I'm going through the dice rolls really quick. The elite fights are more punishing than what you see here. So keep that in the back of your mind that I played this game a fair amount to get up to speed and collect these thoughts on what I feel like the game might be for the busy gamer. Is it perfect? No. Is there some rooms for improvement? Sure, every game has some, but the items and the synergies and the things that you can get going are just nuts. And it does lead into the opportunity for the player to feel a bit of a power fantasy, in all honesty, where you can really, really enjoy the game and have a lot of fun just seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. So it's the ability of the player to just enjoy it. We're going to take an elite fight here and see what we can get from it. Oh, of course, the Blood Moon. That's fabulous. We might be in for a bit of a hurting here because we're only going to get 6 armor and they're going to be swinging at us for 6. And yep, 20 and 30. All right, so let's see if I can set up the armor first. So now I'm going to pay a little bit more attention in the elite fight and see what I can do. Actually, you know what I want to do? Let's do this. Roll this out and get a prediction. So that's a 4. So I'm just going to hit that right there. So if I were to do you, oh, shoot, 4 and 4 is 8. That's not going to help me. I'm going to eat 6 damage no matter what I do. But if I hit you here, let's see if I can get a 6 or a 2, a 3. Not helpful. But that gave us the bone. So nope, this is perfect actually. So I'll do this, bring the bone out, and that's going to proc, and then we're going to swing on you. That's going to do the damage there. Nice. Now here, this is a big risk. Half the numbers if they get... Yep. There's no point. Alright, end turn. Oh, darn it. So I don't really have... I got to get rid of that D10. That D10 is not helping me. 5 and 7. That's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. Alright, so let's see here. Make predictions on things. Let's see what we get. All of those are 1s. And that's a 1. Jeez. Alright, well, let's just get the shield going. And then we're going to end our turn. Like I said, if you can't get the dice working the way that you want to, you're going to have a bad time. 5. I don't have... That's going to be a 4. Let's see. Is this going to push us over too far? Way too far. But thankfully the bones are going to bring us down to... What? No, where's the ghost dice coming from? From the trinkets. I forgot. Like I said, if you're not reading and not remembering what your deck does, you're gonna have a bad time, and I just forgot. Darn it. And that didn't help me at all either. Alright, well, we're gonna take 1 damage here. Shoot, those tokens. So the bones are tokens, and this forces a dice roll of a ghost dice of D1 through 4 every time I use a token. So, knucklehead move to do that. So now I'm going to bring this out and it's going to roll a ghost dice. 2. Perfect. Great. Awesome. So that's going to bring me up there. But if I do this, is that going to bring me anything? Well, I'll just bring you out and you out. Perfect. And I'll swing at you for 4. Yep, and then we're dead. We are gonna die because that guy's gonna hit us for 7. That's gonna hit us for 1, and that's our game. No, wait, hang on. We got 5. We'll be down to 2. Yeah, let's hobble along. Let's see if we can do it. I should have kept the shield. Yeah, this is game right here. Alright, so we got the ability to re-roll, but it's not helping too much. 5, got the 1. Yay. Oh, no, the ghost dice. Can I re-roll you? No, we caused that to crit. Okay, so, yeah, okay, great. Oh, and the blood moon. So I overkilled him, so he came back with the bonus life. Yep, so if you're not paying attention, gonna have a bad time. And that's game. But yeah, so Die for the Lich is going to be a game for people who like to min-max, then like to push the envelope and see what they can get. And it's a lot of fun. I really do think that it's a lot of fun. So the closing thoughts are this. It's a great addition to the busy gamer life if you have, we'll say 40 minutes to spare for a run. If it's under $15, then I think that it's a lot more widely available for people. That's just my recommended price point. Again, I don't know what it took to develop this game, how long it took to develop it, and the price point might be $20. And that's up to you to say if you want it after that point. Personally, I think that I will pick this game up for myself, and when it releases, I will enjoy the game for what it's worth. There's a bunch of different characters here that will probably evolve the play style for what you're going for. There are a bunch of different weapons and RNG that allow you to replay the game quite often, but there is going to be that cap. There is going to be that ceiling. I think that if you look at this game and say, yeah, I could spend, say, 40 hours or 50 hours playing this game, and it's worth that price point that they do set for the game, then pick it up. That's all you can do. If you think that you're apprehensive about it in any way, shape, or form, because the limited trinkets or the limited replayability where it's $40 or $40, 40 hours of gameplay, and there's no, we'll say, achievements to chase or anything like that, then abstain from it. That is entirely your choice. I'm not going to say that this is one of those rare occasions where it doesn't matter the price, go pick it up. The game is super fun. It is super fun, but I think that the price point is really going to drive what people want to pick up for this game. The daily runs allow you to take a look at the leaderboard and see who's got the most points. How these people get these points, I have no idea. It seems like they're, I don't know, steroid cheating or something like that. They need to definitely do some screening on these people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But this was Busy Gamer Dad giving you my final thoughts. This was our session gameplay for Die for the Lich. This was the demo, freely available on Steam. I'll have a link for it in the YouTube description should you want to pick it up for yourselves. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with more Busy Gamer antics. And I hope to see you on our next episodes. Later.